8 million stories in the Naked City, and this was one of them.
From the director of Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Adam and Barbara are
ghosts.
What's the good of being a ghost if you can't frighten people away?
Their house is being haunted by the living.
Maybe the house could use a little remodeling.
And they can't scare them into leaving.
They're dead. It's a little late to be neurotic.
So they're calling on Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice!
Who's no ordinary ghost.
You don't want his help. Can you be scary? What do you think of this?
Now, the party's over.
You want somebody out of the house? I want to get somebody out of your house.
But the fun has just begun.
It's showtime. Learn to throw your voice, fool your friends, fun and party.
Not bad.
This is amazing.
You want a cigarette?
Oh, no, thank you. Oh, yeah, here I come, baby.
He's guaranteed to put some life
Attention, keyword shoppers.
in your afterlife. Michael Keaton is Beetlejuice.
I'm the ghost with the most, babe.
Hello, folks, and welcome back to Blood from the Core. I am one of your hosts, Gary Hill, and with me, as usual, is Derek.
It's showtime.
I'm the ghost with the most, babe. Yeah, we're doing a bridge and tunnel version of the show, taking you to a fictional town in Connecticut, because this film is not filmed in Connecticut, but it takes place in Connecticut, so we'll talk about that later. But we have
and it deals with New Yorkers, though.
It doesn't do New Yorkers. Yes, it is a double whammy, isn't it? Yes.
Yeah.
We have a guest on the show today, and I say today we're recording in the afternoon, people. So we're more spry, I guess. I don't fucking know. Suzanne is here. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Trying to get through the next 3 weeks with most of my sanity still intact. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, but yeah, we're here to do Beetlejuice, and it's a classic, people. If you don't know the plot to Beetlejuice, if you've been living under a rock, I'll read this Imdb synopsis for you. The spirits of a deceased couple are harassed by an unbearable family that has moved into their home and hire a malicious spirit to drive them out. Well, yeah, for like a hot second. And then, kind of does his own thing. This, of course, is directed by Tim Burton. Your stars of this film: Alec Baldwin as Adam Maitland, Gina Davis as Barbara Maitland, Beetlejuice as the ghost of the most himself, Beetlejuice, or Beetlegeist, if you will, Catherine O'Hara as Delia Dietz. We have Jeffrey Jones as Charles Dietz, Winona Ryder as Lydia Dietz, Glenn Shaddix in his wonderful red shoes in this fucking movie as Otho. Also stars Robert Goulet for no reason, which I love so much. Dick Cavett for no reason, which I love so much, is in this movie. And one of my heroes of the day, he's on screen for like 5 seconds, is Hugo Stanger is Old Bill. If you don't know what that is, there's a scene in the film where Adam Maitland goes to his store to go pick up something right before they bite the big one, and this guy's just talking to himself. And I fucking love this small aspect of this film. Had hair down to his shoulders. He said, just trim it just a little bit,
My favorite character in this movie was Carmen Philippe, who, he plays in a bunch of, like, John Carpenter movies. He plays the guy on the wall, the messenger.
Yep.
Miracle!
He's in a bunch of stuff, yep. You are correct about that.
Yeah.
Old man Withers in Wayne's World,
Yeah.
And I would have gotten away with it, too, if it wasn't for those... Oh, my gosh.
He's the only good part of Halloween 4, too.
Yeah. Well, it's not as bad as the Cookie Woman, okay? It's in Halloween 5.
Cookie Woman!
Cookie Woman. We're gonna leave it alone.
Just throws her down the stairs.
Poor Tina. She was hot, too, man. I'm gonna leave that alone, though. But I'm gonna kick it to our guest first, Suzanne, and ask her what she thinks of Beetlejuice. And, yeah, go for it, girl.
Oh, my God. This is one of those movies. If it's one of they have those things on Facebook. It's like a picture can't talk, and you see a picture of Beetlejuice, and you're like, oh yeah, it can. I've loved this movie since it came out. If I'm not mistaken, I think I even saw it in a theater. I am that old, but there's so much to absolutely love about this movie. The visuals are absolutely stunning. And one of the other things I'm glad I get a chance to bring up is one of the writers. His name is Michael McDowell.
Mm-hmm.
And some of you bookworms out there might know him. He wrote, past tense, several books that were kind of, I call them like Southern horror goth. But he was quite the prolific writer in his own right. And if you ever get a chance to pick up a book, I highly recommend The Elementals. So that aside, what can you say about Beetlejuice? It's just, you've got Catherine O'Hara, who is just wonderful. Michael Keaton, who just hams the hell out of Beetlejuice. You've got Winona Ryder before she became irritating, because I too am strange and unusual, and just a great, amazing cast. You got some of the snappiest one-liners, which we were all doing before we actually started recording. The Ghost with the Most. I've seen The Exorcist about 100 times, and it keeps getting funnier every time. There's the script is just spot on. I don't even know where to even start delving into this movie. You've got just this cute little couple who accidentally die, and all of a sudden there's these strange people from New York with even stranger artwork invading their territory. And once again, this is where the visuals come in. It's the sculptures that she brings in are just bizarre beyond imagination, and poor little Winona Ryder is just, goth before goth was goth, just kind of stuck with this crazy, overbearing step monster. And then we get, after several attempts to try to get out the horrible New York people, which I can totally attest to, introducing Beetlejuice, who comes in and just makes everyone's life hell. I just really can't. It's hard to find a spot to start talking about it. It's a great movie. It's got, like I said, the visuals will stick with you. I can see the sculptures. I can see the railing on the staircase turning into a snake. I can see the house and the sandworms. It's just one of those movies, and one thing Tim Burton has always done well is he tells a very visual story. I mean, you can't think of a single Tim Burton movie without a flood of images coming at you, and this just cements that. It's wonderful. I love the scenes when they're up in purgatory trying to talk to the secretary. And you get like the football team that's dead. Probably one of my favorite things. I love seeing the dead football team.
I'm not your coach.
It's just a fantastic film. It's just Tim Burton at, I think, his absolute best. I could be wrong, but I think it's his best movie.
He did have quite a run, Suzanne, I gotta say, until it turned to, garbage and then something decent, and like two garbages and then something decent, Yeah,
the only new movie that I actually enjoyed by him was Frankenweenie, so there's something.
Yeah, I think that was the last one I enjoyed too.
Give Big Eyes a chance. It's not.
I actually never seen that one, so yeah, I'll check that one.
That was his. That was his. Yes.
Big Eyes.
Mm-hmm.
How come I completely spaced that?
It's really good. It's not traditional Tim Burton, but it's good.
Because you probably watched Dumbo and you're like, ugh.
I don't hate that movie. I'll say that right now.
I will not watch it. Nope.
She's like, not my Dumbo. I know Suzanne. Okay, she says not my Dumbo. Okay?
It's better than Suspiria, though, Suzanne.
And thank you, Willis.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I did not even know he did Big Eyes. That was a way more serious turn. I guess I didn't. When I watched it, I may have seen his name, but I said it was just completely different subject matter that I'm used to from Tim Burton.
Yeah, he's that big on making the autobiographical, semi-dramas like that, but it's a decent flick. I love Big Fish, too. There's a lot I love in the later Tim Burtons, but there's some stinkers and films that people think are stinkers that I happen to enjoy, like that Dark Shadows movie. I realize it's not the TV show.
I love the Dark Shadows movie.
I have fun with it.
I don't hate that one either.
I think it's
hate
fantastic.
that Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh, God. Yeah, me and my friends took our daughter to go see that, and it was just abysmal.
If you read the book 16 times like I did as a kid, and you notice all the beats that they follow in the movie, I think you'll like it a little more.
No, I read the book. It was just, like, it was just weird with like the subplot with his dad and shit. Because that wasn't,
they added that. Chris,
I didn't like that.
Yeah, I like Deep Roy, but I can't take 4,000 Deep Roys at the same time.
So. No. Oh my god!
And I hated the only Oompa Loompa that they just
Deep Roy.
Is that him?
That's the actor, Deep Roy. Yeah, that's his name.
Yeah, I didn't care for that one bit. It's like they just cut and pasted him, and it did nothing for it. I liked my Oompa Loompas in different shapes.
This is like the argument I had with John Cross one time.
We need them orange faced.
It's like this conversation I had with John Cross one time about Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I kept saying, everything you're saying is correct. I just happen to like it a bunch.
Yeah.
It's like, this dialogue doesn't make any sense. What the hell's going on here? Blah, 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 blah. Well, everything you're saying is correct. I just happen to like it a lot. Yeah.
Johnny Depp just goes in here, Michael Jackson. Hey, kid. What's the next thing?
Oh, boy.
Yeah, voice that drove me nuts.
Oh, God.
I couldn't stand the damn voice that Johnny Depp used.
I was shocked. Was Helen Yeah, she was in that movie. Never mind. He did cast his then wife in that movie.
Yes.
That's right.
Old Helena Bonham Carter. Yeah. I forgot to mention the
back to Beatles. Yeah.
I forgot to mention Juno, played by Sylvia Sidney, and it has one of my favorite moments that I never caught before in the movie until I watched it in 4K, which was the smoke coming out of her trach hole in the movie, where she's smoking her cigarettes.
Oh, yeah.
I never noticed until this viewing that happens. Yeah. Derek, what about you, sir?
Yeah, Beetlejuice is a movie that it's very nostalgic for me growing up. I used to love it as a kid, and then when I got a little bit older, I'm like, why was I watching this as a kid? Because there's some weird, like, sexual endo shit with Michael Keaton's Beetlejuice that's kind of in there now. I'm like, ooh, yeah, okay. But overall, I think he's fantastic in the role. It's very interesting in watching it on rewatch over the years and see how much time Beetlejuice is actually on screen in a movie called Beetlejuice. And, it's the same complaint I hear about everyone like, yo, Godzilla's not in that 2014 Godzilla movie, y'all.
Who would that be? I don't know who that would be. You're making an imitation of,
I don't know. It's a bunch of people. But, I agree with Michael McDowell's a great writer. I actually I'll save it for later. But, I read the Elementals and stuff and was, like, oh, he wrote Beetlejuice? That's fucking nuts. Like, because, I didn't put two and two together when I was a kid and shit, And, the story's dark. I like how it's kind of has some, what's the word I'm looking for? Social commentary in the film, too. You get, like, this couple that, trying to settle down, instead of people moving next door to them that they don't like, the people that they don't like are actually moving in their house because they can't leave because they're dead spirits now, stuck in this weird purgatory state where they haunt their old house. And I kind of like that, you get that kind of thing where, have like settlements where New Yorkers come in and stuff like that. And you seen it's kind of like a long version of that Family Guy episode, where the New Yorkers all come to Quahog.
The Leafers.
Yes. But I gotta add, I agree with everything with the visuals of this movie. It's very Tim Burton-esque. The thing that I love the most about this movie is Danny Elfman's score. Every time I hear the main theme of Beetlejuice, I get fucking pumped for this movie. It's fantastic, and it has like that little hymn in the beginning. Do 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 do, daylight come, and it gets all dread doom, and you get do, 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 do. It's very iconic and catchy, which early Elfman is, and this is the kind of his second score he did with Burton, because they did Pee-wee's Big Adventure first, and this is where he got the groove where his style would later be in later Burton movies, like Batman and Edward Scissorhands. He got in that groove of how his music would feel in a Tim Burton movie later on, and it's great. Eerie and ominous. Like that whole scene where like Juno's telling the story about Beetlejuice. You hear dun, 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 dun. It's fucking great. This movie's just great. Like Juno is one of my favorite characters now. Like that whole scene with the football team. Coach, I think we died.
I don't think we survived that crash.
Yeah. Quirky characters. Otho's just he's just one of those character actors where like you don't know the actor's name, but you're like, it's fucking Otho. Like he's in the Sleepwalkers and Demolition Man. I'm like, fucking Otho.
Don't forget Heathers,
Yeah.
The underrated Meet the Applegates needs a good release, people, is all I'm saying,
It does. It's crazy that movie doesn't have a fucking Vinegar Syndrome, but release that. You release some fucking weird movies.
Yeah. I third that motion. Yes, we do need Meet the Applegates.
Vinegar Syndrome, if you listen to this, get on it. But,
and send us free shit.
Yeah.
I figure if I echo the words, they'll get it better.
I actually really like Jeffrey Combs as the dad in this movie. Yeah, he's we should state for the listeners, he is a piece of shit in real life, but for like the time period where this movies came out, he was a staple Burton actor. I like that he's like bird watching and shit. He's like, I just want to relax, and he's like, leave this room alone. You can tear the rest of the house apart. Just leave this office for me.
It's amazing though, as much as he wants to relax, as much as he claims he's not like this, rich asshole, he's still looking for opportunities with his. There's a scene where he's looking out the window of his binoculars at this building. It's like, great property, terrible roof, but great property. Like he's thinking right then, like what he could buy in this town and just turning into a Starbucks or something.
Yeah. He's very squirmy, which he usually plays well.
No, he'll always be the principal of Ferris Bueller.
Yeah.
And that's how I try to remember him, even though he is walking human garbage.
Yeah. Like I said, in most of the Tim Burton shit, he's fucking pretty great in, like, Up to Sleep with Howell, He's one of those actors where he's like a staple Burton, And, he's great in Ed Wood, He's just... He was good for these roles, even though he is, like Suzanne said, a piece of walking garbage. We have to state that, he's there in this movie. You just got to separate the art from the artist and just enjoy the character. That's how I take it.
Yeah, I try to. I just, like I said, when we start getting into Clown House and Jeepers Creepers, I can't even watch that shit anymore.
Oh, I don't even like those movies either. So there's that, where it's like, fucking, I don't like them, so I'm not gonna like. Why is people blowing this fucking director that raped a little fucking kid?
Exactly.
Man, yeah, Jeffrey Jones though. I mean, I could admire a lot of roles he is, but yeah, you can't look past that. But let's move on to something else besides his creepiness, because that's bad.
Yeah.
Continue, Derek. I'm sorry.
Another thing is. It's kind of, I like Winona Ryder's character, Lydia, in the film. I like the look of her character. Ironically, when she did her character in Frankenweenie, they made her character, because it's all stop motion, that movie, look exactly like Lydia in Beetlejuice, which is a cool parallel for later Tim Burton movies. But, yeah, I like the idea as, because Adam and Barbara as characters, they had like this conversation with Jane, who is this annoying real estate lady that comes and visits them. you know, you need a family, and they've been trying to have a baby, and Lydia's kind of like a surrogate daughter to them in a way as the film progresses, because you see later in the movie, after it's all said and done, did you get an A? They're more of the caring parents type to her than her actual father and stepmother, So it's kind of like this odd relationship where they bond with this girl. And Beetlejuice wants to marry this girl and take him to her dungeon. Oh, yeah.
One of the more adult things that you don't realize until you get older is the fact that they put a strip club in to keep Beetlejuice occupied.
Yeah, Juno did. It's great.
Yep.
Oh, so good.
Of course, him grabbing his dick, saying "nice fucking model," that didn't help things as a child either.
I love the scene where he just tricks the fly to eat him.
Oh yeah.
And he goes Zugnut.
Pickled Zagnut, which I don't see in stores anymore, but I know they exist somewhere.
It's good shit.
Zagnuts. Yeah, you mentioned the Elfman score. I think that this, and I'll compare it to The Shining, because it's probably two of my most favorite tracking shots of all time, is the tracking shot going over Adam Maitland's, we find out it's a model, going over this model at the beginning of the movie, which is basically him building the whole town in model form, but you don't know until it pans up and shows that it's a model. But that tracking shot with the music going is one of the greatest things ever. I love it. Big MVP credit goes to Bo Welch, the production designer of this movie. He also did Edward Scissorhands and Batman Returns for Burton. And between, the Dietz's house, once it's all renovated, how creepy that looks, and everything else, it just it looks phenomenal, and he's a big part of why it looks so great, and the color schemes, and yeah, it's nuts. Small shit. Captain O'Hara just being, this woman who's very demanding and doesn't want to be there, so she's gonna make an art piece out of the house, or she's gonna go insane, and she has Otho to help her, which is when Otho comes through the window because he says it's bad luck to go to the front door. I don't know what that's about, but tumbles down, and he's got. I love Otho's wardrobe in this movie. When it's his dragon kimono in the one scene, and the black suit with the red buttons and the bolo tie for no reason. And the shoes, The shoes complete the ensemble. I mentioned Otho's red shoes, and they're phenomenal. I'm not a fashionista, but that's a suit that a fat guy could wear and pull it off. So I have to appreciate that,
Yeah.
The red and the black is just that beautiful color blocking scheme. Sorry, I had to.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Oh, you're good.
You're fine. Oh, I forget. Otho's lady at the dinner scene just seems so out of place. Like she's like this avant-garde girl who's possibly into suicide. It's just all these. And Otho's just being a fucking dick. I forget the line he says, but something about she tried to commit suicide last week, or something about she thinking she's so I don't even know. It's weird, their relationship, and
yeah, Otho has a dark side to him.
Otho's got lots of dark sides to him, and I love he is the MVP, and I love the part where Otho is running away at the wedding scene towards the back end of this movie. And Beetlejuice just like slaps his clothes off with a finger gun, and he's wearing a blue leisure suit. And it's like, what's this guy's worst nightmare? This fashionista fat guy, a fucking poly cotton blend leisure suit with big lapels. And he is fucking terrified, and it is hilarious. Oh, man. So much goodness in this film. Why is Robert Goulet in this movie and Dick Cavett? I have no idea. It's just fun to see these guys, and fun to watch Robert Goulet fly through the ceiling, because, you need that in your life.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the set pieces in this film, the sculptures. Suzanne mentioned the snake banister that turns into Beetlejuice, and the whole hammer game thing I just mentioned, where Beetlejuice pops up and, step right up, test your strength, and he, kills the rich people, because that's what this film is basically goating on, like, the whole time. If you didn't notice, capitalism is bad, people. So if you're rich, you're gonna get fucked up in this movie. The Maitlands are not rich. They're very simple folk. They had a very simple life. Had an unfortunate accident, which has kind of like that up feel to it, because you find out that either she's barren or his swimmers don't go. Either way, they can't have kids. Yeah. So, like, right after you find this out, they fall through a bridge and drown to their death. It's kind of fucked up, kids, I'll let you watch Up and say, "Oh, that guy's so grumpy." I was like, "Did you watch the first 20 minutes of the film?" He has a lot to be upset about. Come on,
He got killed by a dog,
Oh yeah, that dog. That dog is about as big a dick as the cat is in Alien. He's just leading folks to their death.
Yes.
The dog is the harbinger of death, just like Jonesy in Alien. Jonesy's like, just come on down this dark, slimy corridor. I'm gonna meow till you come, and let this alien blow a hole through your face.
Take that, Yaphet Kodo.
See, now the cat should have been the thing. We're gonna talk about the thing on the Cinnamon Beef coming up, and if Jonesy the cat was the thing, I would totally believe that.
I don't know, wife thing did a fucking great job.
Jonesy was a dick. Is all I'm saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Josie's a cat. Cats are dicks.
Is anybody surprised? No, I'm playing. Yeah. Interesting credit. Beetlejuice was the first DVD set up by Netflix in 1998. IMDb chose to share that with us. That there was the first mail order thing delivered.
Some asshole that works for Netflix probably wrote that.
Like, hey,
Absolutely.
That's what I did here, man. Michael Keaton ad-libbed 90% of his lines. That's kind of cool. Tim Burton feared the Day-O sequence would not go over well, since in his opinion it wasn't that funny. He tried to be wrong. Audiences loved it, and I think it's one of the film's most iconic scenes. And that's somebody wrote in. It is pretty iconic. I mean, if you didn't know who Harry Belafonte was when you started Beetlejuice, you sure as fuck knew who he was when Beetlejuice was over, because you get like 4 or 5 Harry Belafonte songs.
Jump in the line.
Yep. Including that one, because you get it at the end when Lydia gets her A and she's able to dance with ghosts, apparently. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, lots of fun shit to be having here. Oh, where are we at here? Oh, this is interesting. At dinner party, Otho states that people who commit suicide end up as civil servants in the afterlife. This is actually expanded in the film. The civil servant ghosts that Adam and Barbara meet are people who appear to have ended their own lives. The receptionist says she committed suicide. There's a man who hanged himself, and a crushed messenger is implied that he'd done it to himself. Juno looks normal, but there are scars on her neck that indicate that she cut her own throat. Beetlejuice is said to have been a civil servant and Juno's assistant. It was going to be explained in the film that he hanged himself incompetently and painfully due to heartbreak. While it was cut out of the film for running time purposes, it is hinted when Beetlejuice is surprised at Lydia wishing to die, which makes a lot of sense in the plot when he just says right away, I gotta get married, babe, and Lydia's his choice. So I kind of want to see these scenes now, where they're describing, Beetlejuice's backstory, not heavy exposition, but like that little quiff right there, would have been kind of cool to realize why he said, I gotta get married, babe, and the wedding scene at the end, which I love. I love Beetlejuice's red suit. It's amazing with the ruffles and everything, and
it's just a bad prom sucks.
No, it's amazing. It's amazing, and
it is.
In the cast, I forgot to mention that there's a little preacher man doing the proceedings, and
oh yeah,
Tony Cox is in that suit, and I'm not surprised, but I'm always happy when Tony Cox shows up in things, Oh my gosh,
pretty awesome.
Along with Spaceballs, Big, and Caddyshack 2, it is notable to containing the F word in a film rated PG during the PG-13 era. So, go F word, because
Go F word.
Nice fucking model, Yeah, Lydia's cool. I mean, people. There was a cartoon show that came on the heels of this movie, and they said, "How can we appeal to kids?" And they made Lydia and Beetlejuice like best buds on the show. And if you haven't watched the Beetlejuice cartoon series, it's enjoyable. And they managed to I guess find some writers to make that work, because it works for me. I'm not sure about anybody else, but
I like it. It's just like when you watch it after watching the movie, it's like, wow, they went there with it.
Yeah, it is a really watered down version of it, but they managed to make it fun for like, I want to say 3 or 4 seasons, and then it kind of went away like many other cartoon shows. But they've been talking about a sequel for a long time, and from what I hear, if you believe anything you hear now, that they have Winona Ryder ready to go, they have Michael Keaton ready to go, Tim Burton's ready to go. It's all a matter of when, I guess, or if, because they've been talking about this for like a decade now, that this is gonna be a thing, and if you believe that, you might believe that, I'm hopeful, but
I don't know. I don't know how it would age.
It'd be great if he just his time when the sequel comes out, it was the time when his actual number got called.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is, one of the lines I've used many times that makes somebody look the other way, like, hey, look, there goes Elvis. Yo, King.
Yo, King. Looks like I'm next.
And then he gets his head shrunk, and it's spectacular.
He's like, this might be a good look for me.
You mentioned this film takes place in a fictional town in Connecticut, because this is the bridge and tunnel version of Blood McCore, after all. It is not filmed directly in Connecticut at all. It is filmed in Vermont. East Corinth, Vermont, to be specific, doubles as Winter River, Connecticut, which is the town where they actually live. But the general store is real, where the Maitland hardware store is. And the school is real, so all the locations are real. So there's that. There's not many sets in this film, except for, like, I'm sure some of the interior stuff, but... so that's nice to know. I'm not sure if they're still standing or not. That's... They don't really tell you that unless you're, like, doing some deep research, like we did on the... They actually tell you that you could go rent a condo in the Sentinel apartment building if it ever became available.
Oh, boy.
But, fun stuff. Every time you guys said Michael McDowell, I was thinking about the Doobie Brothers, but that's a different guy, But I'm not gonna try to sing that voice because I can't do that, and it's
taking it to the street.
There you go.
You don't know my brother.
It did contribute to one of my favorite Paul Rudd lines of all time. Is that if I hear one more Yama be there, I'm gonna Yama and burn this place to the ground. And it's thank you, Paul Rudd, for that one. It just makes you laugh every time I watch the 40-year-old version, because he makes it better. That and the part where they're watching The Bourne Identity, and he goes, usually he's kind of a Streisand, but he's rocking the shit in this one. And then good stuff. Yeah, but Harry Belafonte, bringing some flavor, and still one of my favorite episodes of The Muppet Show ever is the Harry Belafonte one. And it's up there. I love I mentioned Danny Elfman's score. He's done many scores for many people, and it's so weird that these new wave, frontmen, him and Mark Mothersbaugh from Devo, have done so many scores over the years, and you still watch.
Oh, I know.
You still look at the Oingo Boingo and the Devo, and it's like, wow, this is the guy that did the score for Rugrats. Mark Mothersbaugh, that is, and Rushmore and so many things, and Elfman has done scores for many, many things. They have to have like a competing thing of how many films they've done, but it's just so weird that these new wave guys had like a second career as these, iconic, and I'll say iconic, music composers for film, because they've done so much.
Yeah, one of my favorite Mark Mothersbaugh scores is for the TV show Eureka.
Nice.
It's like I hear it and I automatically, oops, Eureka's on.
Oh, his score for Thor Ragnarok just gets my dick hard every time I hear. Yeah, but Michael McDowell, like you were saying, I don't know if you guys ever heard. There's a movie from 2016 that I actually reviewed on Bloody Bits. Remember when that was a thing when they did like the mini reviews?
Oh yeah, I remember those.
Yeah, I did a movie called Cold Moon, which was based off Michael McDowell.
Cold Moon Over Babylon.
Yeah. And it's kind of a trashy movie. It's got like Josh Stewart, who was in like The Collector and The Collection movies. Frank Whaley's in it.
The book is quite good though. If you get a chance to read it, it's very good.
Yeah, I actually like this movie though for what it was, and there's actually a cool shout out to Beetlejuice in the movie. You would blink and miss it, but it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I saw the movie and I don't know what happened. I was going to go and find it. And I didn't, which I changed because now I want to watch it.
Yeah, I think it's on Prime. It's usually streaming somewhere. Tubi probably has it. Old Tubi, yo.
Old Tubi, yo.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, I got to give credit to Winona Ryder in this movie because she's like one of the first goth girl evers, and all the goth girls following behind her are just imitations, like Slim Shady, you know. Because he's the Slim Shady. He's the Slim Shady. All the other Slim Shadys are just imitating.
Wow, Michael McDowell wrote the screenplay of the Stephen King's Thinner.
Nice. Go eat your pie.
He did a bunch of episodes of Tales from the Crypt, Tales from the Dark Side, Tales from the Dark Side of the movie, Amazing Stories, Alfred Hitchcock Presents.
Oh, he did that episode of Monsters I watched with fucking Mike Merriman. That's cool.
Go eat your pie, white man from town. You know, that's a whole nother movie that, for some reason, I love that retarded fucking Thinner film. But it is what it is.
Thinner.
It's.
Well, now I just think of that guy as the guy from My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Windex.
Oh, so good. Put some Windex on him. Michael Constantine. He didn't do a whole lot, but he was in some good stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
and Joe Mantegna just goes 500 in that movie.
This is acid, bitch. You know.
Yeah, he's the best part. I don't care.
Oh, so good. Oh my gosh. But this movie, again, one of Burton's best, and I think it's, to be fair, I mean, Bo does this all the time, to go down the list of credits, you know, where Burton went wrong, because I do a show, if you guys have listened to, called Last Call Torches, which is all about Walter Hill's films, and he had a hell of a run in his first goings, and, you know, I'd argue through, you know, the best, you know, some of the ones that towards the end are pretty good too. Oh, by the way, Beetlejuice 2 is on his IMDb as I guess in development, I guess you call it. Started with Frankenweenie the short, which if you like it, you like it. I'm a fan of it. It's got a lot of heart in there. Pee-wee's Big Adventure 85, Beetlejuice 88, after some TV stuff, and Alfred Hitchcock Presents at a Fairy Tale Theater, which I've probably seen the Fairy Tale Theater because I watched a lot of that. Yeah,
that's the Aladdin one with Leonard Nimoy as the bad wizard and James Earl Jones plays the genie.
I gotta look for that now, see. Batman 89, you don't know what monster hit that one was. Edward Scissorhands 90, makes you cry every time, son of a bitch.
Yeah, yeah.
Batman Returns 92, Ed Wood 94, Mars Attacks 96, Say What You Want, love that fucking stupid movie.
I love that movie too.
Made that fucking card. Yeah, Sleepy Hollow 99. And then, here we go. Planet of the Apes 2001.
Oh, boy.
But then, this is what I'm talking about. It fluctuates. Big Fish is very watchable. Charlie Chocolate Factory, we talked about that. Corpse Bride, watchable, but it's not A Nightmare Before Christmas. It's just not. You know. Yeah. Sweeney Todd.
I didn't like Sweeney Todd. Did not like it at all.
Well, this is we're on the opposite sides of the spectrum here, because I happen to enjoy it. Alice in Wonderland stinker, visually appealing, but it's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Dark Shadows, very funny. Not TV show, but give it a chance, people. Frankenweenie animated, stop motion, delightful.
It has a giant turtle in it.
Yes. Tribute to Gamera. Gotta love it. Gotta love it, man. Big Eyes, watchable. Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. never seen, not my audience.
I didn't see that one yet either.
I didn't enjoy it.
Dumbo, I'll tell you guys, it's got a lot of heart to it, and I if you guys haven't seen it, I'd say check it out. It's another one of those Disney reduxes. There's a couple in there that I happen to enjoy, which, you know, I seen that Jon Favreau Jungle Book movie at the theater like 3 times because, yeah, it fucked with me. Yeah.
Before we go on, I totally forgot he directed the music video for The Killer's Bones.
Yeah, he did some Killers music videos in there. He did the one, and then he did, 2 of them. He did 2 Killers music videos. Yeah. So he worked there. Whatever the world of Stain Boy is, that apparently that's a thing. I don't know, but I'd say in that run, he may have like 3 or 4 stinkers in there. As far as like a director goes, that's not too bad, you know. So
yeah, like everything from Sleepy Hollow, I would say, is fucking awesome.
Everybody says, "Oh, fucking Burton." I'm like, well, you know what, dudes, you're incorrect. You know, because the good well outweighs the bad. So
yeah, you know, Planet of the Apes sucks. I like Big Fish, Charlie and the Factory. We already talked about that. Corpse Bride. I actually liked it on rewatch.
I liked it okay, but people will compare it to Nightmare Before Christmas, and that wasn't even a Tim Burton movie all the way. That was a Henry Selick movie, and
yeah, he only produced it. You know? You know, Alice in Wonderland. I actually I agree. I like the visuals, the stories. Like, what the fuck are they doing? A sequel? Why isn't this called Alice in Wonderland Returns to Wonderland? I don't fucking get it. But whatever. Dark Shadows, I actually liked. Frankie Winnie, I love. Big Eyes, I haven't seen, and I haven't seen. And Dumbo, I should give another shot to it because they pretty much. The thing with Dumbo is they just told pretty much the majority of the animated movie in the first 15 minutes.
And that's kind of like what I liked about it, because they assume don't watch Pete's Dragon because that'll depress the fuck out of you. But still,
that movie is fucking sad. Yeah, it's good, but it's sad.
I got to give a shout out to something he made happen. He produced Cabin Boy is a favorite.
Yeah, he did. He was supposed to direct that.
Yeah, he did produce it though. James and the Giant Peach. If you haven't watched that adaptation, that's delightful.
The better Roald Dahl adaptation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Because it's got my boy Pete Postlethwaite in it, being weird.
Yep. Little seen film, but should be seen more. 9 with the sock puppet, characters running around.
Trippy is all. He did that. He produced that with that Russian director there that did that Day Watch movie.
Yeah, totally worth your time.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh my gosh.
No, I love Day Watch and Night Watch.
Man.
9 is if those two directors are we're gonna produce this, man. Let's just smoke weed and go to town on it.
I've never watched 9.
It's like if they made a post-apocalyptic film for children. Okay.
Oh Jesus. Okay.
It's
called When the Wind Blows.
It's like if you haven't seen Rango. Rango is a western for children. That's fucking delightful. Okay.
It's great.
I'm gonna watch 9 now.
Yeah,
I have no idea the guy who did watch.
Yeah, 9's good. 9's good. And to a dumber extent, he helped produce Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, which is a film that you could watch and say, make your own decision on. I have fun with it. You know?
Also from the director of Day Watch.
There you go. So they had some collaborations there. I gotta appreciate that. But this is Beetlejuice we're talking about, and lots of other stuff. I love the tangents. I'm not gonna lie to you. But yeah, we don't rate these films, but I'd say we all recommend Beetlejuice. I can speak for everybody, I think, in this sense, because it is a classic. I've owned it in multiple formats. I own it in 4K now, and it looks good. All those interiors and colors make it even better. And that's a recommendation, getting this in 4K.
Yeah, I agree. Because I watched this actually on the 4K as well, and it looked amazing. The colors popped. The only jar moment was some of the stop motion with the sandworms. It did look a little bit more wonkier than it usually did, but overall, it's still watchable.
Well, it's because you could see everything now. You did all that stop motion stuff,
Yeah, I say the same thing when I watch a fucking Gamera movie where you can see that's just a cutaway. It's it's even Ray Harryhausen movies like that now are like that.
We did the Giant Claw a little bit ago with Q on the beef, and You can see the wires on that marionette bird, and I don't give a flying fuck.
Because it's as big as a battleship, right?
I'm just having so much fun with it that, I don't care about the wires.
I just love it, even after they know what it is, they still keep calling it a battleship.
Mm-hmm.
You can get shit-faced every time somebody says battleship in that movie.
Man, oh man. But yeah, I gotta mention the budget. The budget was $15 million. Made $75 million, worldwide. So that's pretty good for $1988. And even more now with all the multiple releases that it had, TV rights, blah blah blah. But yeah, we gone as deep as we can. Well, as we're gonna on Beetlejuice. If you guys need a reason to watch Beetlejuice and haven't seen it for some peculiar reason, maybe you weren't raised right or something. I don't know. Go check it out, peoples.
Yeah, do it.
Absolutely. If you haven't seen it, I don't know what to say to you.
Well, Suzanne, thanks for joining us. So you can pimp your wares right now, as they say.
Oh, yeah, you can always find me on, I do the Beef with You and NFW, where we pretty much talk about everything but the movie.
Especially now, we were doing Satan Claus and shit,
Oh, we actually did a really good one the other night.
I fell asleep on that, and I apologize. So I was supposed to be on there.
It's blood from somewhere in Scandinavia, I think Norway.
Was Carmen San Diego there? It's in the song, Do it, Rockapella,
Oh, yeah?
Rockapella makes everything better, I think, Just throwing it out there. Derek.
You can find me on Cinema Attack. They're here. Of course, No More Room in Hell. No More Room in Hell presents Creature Comforts, Underwater Kaiju from Outer Space, and, of course, as always, Blood from the Core, where you can find on the Legion Patreon.
Now, it's Derek's choice next on the Patreon feed. You'll find this show, if you're not listening already, on the regular feed, obviously. He promised me a weird one, and I want to hear all about it right now. What are we doing next, Derek?
We are doing who is known in New York as the Godfather of 42nd Street, and that is Andy Milligan. We're getting into his wild filmography with a film known as The Ghastly Ones, which is a video nasty. I believe its video nasty title is Blood Orgy. But yeah, this is a film shot in New York and the late 60s,